Hi, this is Marco, and these are 4 safe targets to cut your errors in half. The first target we're going to talk about is on the serve. We're going to choose whichever side of our opponent has more court, and we're going to aim for that. This is the larger target, this is the safer target. It'll look something like this. We don't want to go for the smaller target just because it's much more of a risk. And although I landed that ball, the right side of Ann would have been more appropriate in this situation. So we're going to choose whichever side of the court there's a little bit more room on. Before we get back to the video, here are a few more tips about your grip. You want to maintain either a continental or an Eastern grip. This enables you to hit both forehands and backhands without having to modify your grip. How to get to these? We can either put our hand on the right hand side of the paddle, handshake grip for an Eastern, or come across the top down to the handle for continental. They're very, very similar. Grip pressures. We want to maintain either a 3 out of 10 for all of our soft game shots or a 5 or 6 out of 10 for all the powerful shots. So we're gonna vary shaking hands softly and a confident handshake for the powerful ones and the soft ones. And lastly, don't forget to snag your ProLite No Sweat Diamond grips for maximum control stability while you have sweaty hands. Use code Pickleball Union for 25% off for everything on the ProLite website. Next, the return of serve. We want to be aiming as deep into the court, right down the middle. This can cause some confusion between the two players, and it gives us a much larger target to aim without ever running the risk of hitting the ball to the sides of the court. Let's demonstrate. Once again, I'm going to use a little extra height here. I'm going to aim right for that center line. And I'm going to get myself all the way up there. Simple, consistent. The third target we want to be aiming for is during resets. We want to be aiming right across the middle of the net, as shallow into the kitchen as possible. The middle of the net has 2 less inches of height, which makes it a much, much easier target. We are free from any sideline issues of missing wide. It is the safest target when you are under pressure. Let's demonstrate. Again, I can use a little extra height here, right across the middle of the net. I can even hit it a little low because the net height is going to be that much more forgiving right in the middle. Simple and consistent. Even as I move myself forward, the middle of the net is still the easiest target for me to go to. Common tendencies in this scenario are to try and go for smaller targets. If I try and going for that corner, I may land some, but I will miss more than I make, which means the middle is always going to be your safer target here, especially when you're under pressure. Lastly, when we have an attacking opportunity like a drive or a speed up, I would highly encourage that we speed up straight ahead in front of us. We do not want to run the risk of spraying this ball out of bounds on the sidelines, which means we want to keep this straight line ahead, which brings anticipation and easier execution. Let's demonstrate. Nice. Notice, if I sped that ball up to the cross court, that was probably going out of bounds. I want to try and keep this ball straight out in front of me where I have anticipation and a much simpler execution. Here's some examples of the wrong spot to speed up. Those were 4 targets to cut your mistakes in half. If you like this video, please follow and subscribe to Pickleball Union.